Coach Wayne Phipps, we're back at home at the indoor practice facility for the Cougar Indoor. This is a pretty special meet. It's a collegiate invitational meet only. Let's start with the first day. We're going to have men's heptathlon, women's pentathlon. Tell us a little bit about that.
For me, this is always the most exciting part of this meet is the multi-event. And we've got some outstanding entrants from WSU, led by Alyssa Brooks-Johnson, who's Pac-12 champion outdoors. So a lot of neat things starting off right away on Friday.
And tell me a little bit about the competition that's coming in and what your goal is for your Cougars team. What's your goal for them to do at this meet?
For the most part, it's, as you mentioned, collegiate teams only and pretty much local, although we do have some entrants from Utah State in the women's multi, and then they may come back a little bit on Saturday, depending on how they feel. But for the most part, for us, it's, again, another opportunity to continue to improve. We had some great performances last weekend, and taking steps up every single weekend. We want to continue that trend this weekend.
Let's talk a little bit about last weekend. Let's start with Devin Portfeld. She is just having a whopper of a senior year. Tell us a little bit about what she did at the UW Invite.
Well, Devin loves indoor track. And it's she gets really excited, loves I think the consistency, and the events that happen during the indoor season, and opened up just with such a fantastic 5K, and then followed up with a huge PR in the mile. And I think that's really setting her up well to what we think can be a chance to get an NCAA qualifier in either the 5K or 3K by the end of the season.
Does she have a preference?
I don't think she does. I think whatever race she's in at that point is her favorite one. And so we usually do a little bit of a mix during the indoor season. And over the last couple of years, I've found a nice race schedule for her to double in this 5K and mile, which doesn't seem like would be a fun thing to do, but she enjoys it. Come back with a 3K next weekend, and then double back with a 5 and a 3 at Mount Pacific.
A couple of your guys who are coming off the NCAA cross-country championships are finding their feet now on the indoor track. Talk a little bit about them at the Seattle meet.
Yeah, for a lot of the guys who ran cross-country, ran at NCAA cross-country, this was their opening meet. So a little bit of ups and a little bit of downs, and that's the way the first meet goes. But we're excited about the potential this group has of getting a qualifier individually and hopefully a DMR as well.
Is it hard when you send the majority of your team down to Albuquerque and you can't physically watch them compete? Do you just look at marks, or do you talk to the coaches about who did well there?
Yeah, it is really difficult, and it's the whole time I'm just pestering all the coaching staff, but they do a great job of keeping me up to date, sending me video, and the student athletes give me lots of feedback too. So as difficult as it is, they make it as easy as possible on me.
I know that you space out your distance runners and middle distance runners. They don't run the same events every week, so they're fresh. Not the same with sprinters and the hurdlers. Talk a little bit about their competition schedule.
Yeah, so they end up going just about every weekend. We'll be careful with it, and we do schedule in an off week prior to Mount Pacific. But it's for the technical events, it's important for them to get in the competition and use it as much as practice as it is competition as well, because there's just so much minute detail that goes into those events. It's really important to execute and practice within the competition setting as well as the normal practice setting.
Same with your horizontal, vertical jumps and your throws?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think, for someone like Brock, taking every opportunity to get that NCAA qualifying mark is very important.
So Brock had two pretty good throws down in Albuquerque, 2024 and 2025 meters, which is setting up pretty well. Is Julie, and are you working with him to pace himself so that he does peak at the end of the season?
Yeah, that'll be Coach Taylor. Absolutely is working with Brock, and being that he's much healthier than he's been in the past, has been able to get in more full training, and which I think is going to allow him to peak even much more so than he's been able to in the past, and periodize his training plan a little bit better. And what's neat for him is that he's performing so well in which is kind of a secondary event. So for him to see this much success and continued success in the weight throw, I think is going to carry over very well in the hammer outdoors.
So right now we've had a just a slight group of really nice days. 54 degrees yesterday here in Pullman. So would he go out and practice hammer, or does he stay indoors and just stay with the weight throw?
They work on hammer as well during this period of time, and the throwers are, I'll say, notorious for heading outside even in less than ideal conditions. But with this type of weather, they're definitely outside and doing a combination of the two.
At this point in the season, have you set goals for you and the coaching staff set goals for each athlete as to what you'd like to see from them this weekend?
Yeah, we sit down and we actually met as a team after our first home meet and talked about some team goals and how we're taking the right steps to accomplish those team goals, both indoors and outdoors. And then each coach works with each individual athlete to establish a meet-by-meet goal and then an end-of-year goal as well.
Well, we'll be in the indoor facility Friday starting at 2:30 and Saturday starting at 10 a.m. No charge for spectators, so we invite people to come and watch Cougar Track and Field.
Thanks so much, and go Cougs.